Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Politics Podcast. Thank you for joining me for this another episode. And as I said in my last episode, I could be here 24/7, bringing you all the news from X. So I'm going to talk about two things this evening. But first of all, please subscribe to the channel. And thank you if you've subscribed already. And share my content and like it, please. I want to build up the channel. So tonight we're going to talk about two items. The first one is a video I'm going to play for you of a news segment on Fox News in the United States with a Douglas Murray. He is a commentator, journalist, author, and I'll let you listen yourselves to this Fox News. It's a 5-minute video, so press pause, get a cup of tea, and come back. But I want you to listen to the whole 5-minute segment of the Fox News segment from the other day that I came across. Okay, here we go.
Ireland last year is seeing its biggest population surge since 2008, largely due to positive net migration. The country also seeing, by the way, a rise in crime. It's even more pronounced in the city of Dublin, where murder and assault attempts are surging. This from a city that was once one of the safest cities in the world. It now ranks among the top 10 most dangerous cities in Europe. Let's get the read on this from the British-born author and New York Post contributor, Douglas Murray. Douglas, it's been a while. It's great to see you. Quite a headline out of Ireland, out of Dublin, that it has gotten so dangerous, that it has changed so much. And I believe, if I have my data correctly, Douglas, in a very short period of time.
That's absolutely right, Will. And it's so interesting to compare the situation in Ireland and indeed Britain and other European countries with the situation in the US. You know, when I wrote my book, The Strange Death of Europe, some 10 years ago now, I said, among other things, that the developed world, America, North America, Europe, and so on, made two fatal mistakes about migration. We massively underestimated the number of people who want to come to our societies, and we massively overestimate the extent to which we can absorb people when they come at these numbers. President Trump got into office and re-elected very largely on this question of migration and open borders. And the American people said, yes, we do want borders. We do want migration, but we want legal migration. And we want to make sure we can sort the best possible people out to come here. Ireland, Britain, other European countries have gone a totally different route. They've lost control of their borders. They keep underestimating the numbers of people who want to come and then massively lose any opportunity to integrate the people who do come. A country like Ireland has had historic, unprecedented migration in recent years, and it is changing the country, and it is something that the Irish people are waking up to because they do not like it.
Let's just stay on Europe for one more second before we come back across the Atlantic to our home shores. Who's coming? Who's going to Ireland? Who's flooding the UK? Who's changing it in what does seem to be, in very quantifiable ways, negative?
It's people from the developing world. Principally, in the case of Europe, it is people from Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa, and the Middle East. There are people coming from the Far East as well, but largely that's where the migration comes from. They come from through the soft underbelly of Europe, the Mediterranean, usually go through safe country after safe country in contravention of all international treaties on this matter, and they end up choosing a country in which they get the best welfare deal, the best housing deal, and so on. And just imagine the fact that, for instance, as a result of this, taxpayers in Ireland, taxpayers in Britain pay millions of dollars a day to house illegal migrants in hotels.
Right.
And now in a country like Britain, the police have put on an order to forbid local British people from even protesting when illegal migrants are put in a hotel near them that many of them could not afford themselves, but they see going on the taxpayers' dime to illegal migrants.
And I think we did this story a week ago, Douglas, and crack down on anyone who complains about this on social media, begin to monitor those who complain about illegal migration. And I would just say, you and I together here, we've pointed out crime, we've pointed out effects on jobs, we have pointed out the effect on your taxpayer dollars and where they're absorbed or devoted. But I think the biggest canary in the coal mine for some place like Europe, as we're looking back here now at America, is the loss of your culture. You are a totally transforming culture who doesn't adhere to its original principles.
That's absolutely right, Will, and it's something I've warned about for many, many years, and I wish had been listened to, frankly, rather more on this. The interesting question, though, that ties all this together is, can anything be done to reverse the trend? And in all the recent years that I've travelled around interviewing politicians and others about this, I've always asked this question: what are you going to do to turn it around? And that's one of the reasons why President Trump's policy in the US is so important. He is showing, this administration is showing, that you can deport illegal migrant criminals, for instance, who should be the easiest people to deport.
Right.
People who broke into the country and then broke the laws again in the country. President Trump's policy has shown that this can be reversed. The interesting thing will be to see whether European leaders and European publics have the stomach to do this there as well, because if they don't, it's gone.
All right. Douglas Murray, always a fascinating conversation. Thank you, Douglas.
So, there you have it. Douglas Murray went on Fox News and told the American people everything that's going on in Ireland, especially with immigration. Now, I was taken aback when I saw this segment because I was thinking to myself, wow, the American people are more informed than Paddy and Myra down the road. The American people are more informed about what's happening in Ireland than the Irish people. So I immediately contacted RTE News and Kevin Backhurst, the Director General of RTE, and I asked them why. Why do RTE continuously fail to inform the Irish people on the serious issue that's on everyone's minds of immigration? Now, following that, because it was shared so much, this Fox segment on social media, all the, I would say, open border fanatics, all the lefties, all the NGOs came out lambasting because it was Douglas Murray who went on Fox News. Oh, shock horror. We even have Leo Varadkar, ex-Taoiseach, coming on social media, grabbing a left-wing account who says that the facts and the figures and the data of this segment were all wrong. So you have Leo Varadkar. I think before I came on here this evening, I saw the Irish Examiner had done an article on Leo Varadkar's ex-post. Okay, so this is absolutely crazy. The main thing I took from that Fox News segment was not the data, not the figures. The main points that's in that Fox News segment that Douglas Murray rightly brought up was A, Ireland has lost control of its borders. Okay, Ireland has lost control of its borders. B, he said that Ireland has seriously underestimated the amount of people who want to come to this country from the developing world and third world countries. Seriously underestimated. Now, we know back in 2021 that Roderick O'Gorman, the Minister for Integration, the Green Party Minister for Integration, at the time put out a post in 8 different languages highlighting the generous asylum system here in Ireland. He said within that video that he put out and that post that migrants that come here will get their own door accommodation within 16 weeks. And he highlighted our health service and our dental service and blah, 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 blah. So Ireland has seriously underestimated the amount of people that want to come here. Of course they want to come here from the developing world. Look at what they get when they come. I've highlighted it before. Look at what they get. There's luxury apartments being built for them. No contribution. They can work after a certain period of time. No contribution. So that was the main thing I took from Douglas Murray talking on Fox News. And I'm sure the Irish Americans and the Americans in general picked up that from the news, from Fox News. that Ireland has lost control of its borders. And I noted that Douglas Murray has written a book 10 years ago on this very subject, mass immigration into Europe, and he's called it The Strange Death of Europe. I think that's the title. And it's funny that Donald Trump came to Scotland the other day and said that immigration was killing Europe. Are they wrong? Does the man on the street hear those words? Will RTE report this? No, but the Irish Examiner did report that Leo Varadkar put out a post on X saying, isn't it great that these lefty fact checkers and data analysts have proved Fox and Douglas Murray wrong? Now, this has all taken place in the last 24 hours. No, nobody has been proved wrong. Everything Douglas Murray said on Fox News is correct. Ireland has lost control of its borders, as we've all been saying, and everybody knows, everybody has eyes. The fact that RTE won't tell the people is outrageous. I sent it to them in a post and I said, it's too late. Fox News have bet ye to it. Another point Douglas Murray makes there after he says that we've lost control of our borders is that we've underestimated the number of people. He goes on to talk about safety and crime and Dublin. Ireland in general is not safe. We don't need Douglas Murray to go on Fox News and for him and the presenter to say this and that or percentages of crime. And we know. My last video, 48 hours ago, was a video of a young guard getting stabbed in the back in the middle of the day by someone shouting Allahu Akbar. There was a rape of a lady in Dundalk yesterday. Details hidden. Perpetrator can't tell us the name. All we know of the article about the poor Dundalk lady, I think it was also in a park, like a poor Ashley Murphy, gone. All we know is that the perpetrator needed an interpreter. We're not stupid. RTE and the mainstream media are trying their best to hide the obvious from the Irish people. And it's ridiculous. And Douglas Murray was absolutely 100% correct. But all they can do is give out and focus on data, facts, numbers. Should they tell us they don't collate the numbers? They say the guards don't collect the numbers and the ethnicities of criminals. So how are they, when Douglas Murray goes on, they said, then they know the numbers apparently, and the numbers are wrong. They told us they don't collect the numbers. Anyway, it's not about numbers. It is about what we see with our own eyes, what we hear, what we live through as a people. That's the bottom line, and that's what it's all about. And yes, we can all see that the borders are out of control. There are no borders. It's open borders. What did Pascal Donoghue say? Open economy. It's an open economy. So Douglas Murray was 100% correct. He wrote the book 10 years ago. He knows what he's talking about. Lost control of our borders. He also says that the Irish people have woken up. And he also says that we're spending millions of euro every day. The figure is €205,000 every hour on the hour, 24/7. That is almost a house a minute. In the old days, it would be a very good house a minute. I reckon we can build houses for €205,000, but it's almost, in today's figures, an hour. Did I say a minute? A house an hour. That's what we're spending. So he knows that. He is correct. Everything he has said is correct. And it's absolutely outrageous and ridiculous that Leo Varadkar would come and say how he loves this left-wing account because they are so trustworthy and full of the proper facts. The Irish people know the facts. We all know it. There's no amount of hiding it under the rug anymore. Everybody knows it. So to reiterate that piece on Fox News, the biggest scandal of that piece on Fox News is that RTE didn't air it or show it. Or don't invite Douglas Murray if you don't want to. I do say even if Michael Collins came back, they wouldn't let him on RTE News to say anything about immigration. Immigration is a dirty word in Ireland, not allowed to talk about it. The problem is everybody's talking about it. That's the problem they have. And more and more and more people are waking up, asking questions, talking to each other. It's a snowball. So that's the biggest scandal from the Fox News segment, is that the American people are more informed than the Irish people about what's going on in Ireland. The Irish people are being kept in the dark. You have to go and find out for yourselves. As I say, start an X account. Please, spread the word about X. It's the #1 place to get the news, and it's fantastic. So, but like I said, I'll be here to give you the news. So that's a fantastic piece that came up yesterday. It came across my feed, that video, and I immediately grabbed it and immediately sent it on to RT News and Kevin Backhurst. And the big question is why? Why? And I've said it before about Canadian news outlets, Sky Australia, Sky London, Sky UK came over and did a very good piece one day last year. GB News, fantastic. RTE News are not doing their jobs. And they lobbied the government most last year, that they are the #1 media outlet to lobby the government. Shocking. Do your jobs. Absolutely shocking. So, share that Fox News segment. We're not going to quibble about figures. That's ridiculous. Just talk about the gist of the piece. If Leo Varadkar could come on and say, yeah, it was about time we had a conversation about immigration. It's about time. No. So it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter that it's Douglas Murray. It doesn't matter that it was Fox News. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it was Michael Collins himself, God rest him. Doesn't matter. Not allowed. Zip. So on another note, what we're not allowed to do, apparently, is celebrate an Irish festival in Leitrim. We're not allowed to do that. So the powers that be in the NGO world and the Antifa world and the anti-fascist and the anti-racist world have put such pressure on the board or the community group who run the Mayflower Inn in Drumshanbo. They put such pressure on these poor people, I don't know how many of them are in it, that they cancelled an Irish festival that was due to be coming up on the 23rd of August. So there was a festival called Mise Eire. I think it was organised by the Irish Inquiry Group, as far as I know, who are great, who are a media outlet. I advise you to look them up and follow them and subscribe to their channel. And they've been on the go for years and they're fantastic. But they organised a festival and there was to be food and Irish music and crack and that's not crack. If my American viewers, it's crack as in fun. They were organising all this. There were 400 tickets sold. It was going to be a fantastic day, but no. The lefties and the people who hate it when the Irish get together, or anyone who's slightly on the right thinking path than their extreme left thinking path. And they've been on the go for years and years and years, by the way, this kind of mentality of trying to cancel people, trying to cancel events. I remember back in 2018, this was going on. Anybody who tries to do anything for the regular Irish person, that's all, just the regular Irish person, they get shouted down, they get cancelled, they get pressurised, and lo and behold, the Mayflower Inn community group caved to the pressure. The group that pressured them is a group called Leitrim Leitrim against racism and fascism, I think. Larif. Are you having a larif, lads? Are you having a larif? Well, you would be having a laugh, and it would be hilarious if it wasn't so serious. So this group got together and asked, I think it was 600 musicians and and all left wing anyway, including Christy Moore and Kneecap, the group Kneecap, who have been through their own freedom of speech troubles recently and were garnering and looking for sympathy. And not a month goes by and they're doing this. It's unbelievable. Anyway, this group got all these signatures together and applied the pressure to the Mayflower Inn board of management or community group. I don't know who runs it. But anyway, they caved. And last week, this same group, or a member of these Leitrim lefty people, went on Ocean FM giving out about John Waters, John Waters is a journalist, a very good journalist, and he was due to speak at this Mise Eire Festival. Anyway, the next day, the presenter of Ocean FM had to a grovelling apology to John Waters on air for the disinformation and defamation that was spewed the day before by this group. And what I would love to ask the Mayflower Inn people community group is, when you saw that and you heard that Ocean FM themselves had to come and apologise for what was said about John Waters, did a light bulb not go off in your heads as to the type of people that are pressuring you? It's absolutely shocking, and shocking that you would cave, I'm afraid to say. Is there nobody with a backbone and a bit of bravery to say, hey, enough, enough. Woke is dead. Cancel culture is dead. The people of Ireland can do whatever the hell they want to do. And saying that, we've had protests in the past and anything at all, like I said, which is slightly on the right, you will always get counter-protested and you will get basically a bunch of lefties and NGOs and Sinn Féiners and all these people before profit. They come at you and they will counter-protest. Now, there are 33,000 NGOs in this country. I know that many of them do good work. A lot of them are charities. I know that. But there are many in there that are on this extreme left politically. And their only job, it seems to me, is to find things like this Mise Eire Festival that was meant to take place and do the best to get it shut down. So when they say they're Antifa, anti-fascists, they have to look in the mirror, because they are the real fascists. Because only fascists would not let you speak. Only fascists would try to silence you. So going back to the Mise Eire and the Mayflower, anyway, as I was saying, so there are 33,000 NGOs in the country. The Irish taxpayer pays out €6 billion every single year on NGOs. And I'm not saying all of them are bad. But I am saying that in the case of this Mise Eire Festival, there is not one NGO in the country where the organisers of Mise Eire Festival or the board or the community group of the Mayflower Inn in Drumshanbo, there isn't one NGO who they could turn to last week when all this pressure was coming on them. There is not one NGO out of the 33,000 that exist. There isn't one that the regular Irish person can call or email or ask for advice or get on their side. All the people in this country have is each other. And it looks like that's all we will continue to have. And that's all we can do, is stick up for each other, because boy, it goes to prove this week, Mise Eire Festival and the Mayflower Inn. It was a battle between freedom of speech and fascism, between left and right. Anyway, the good news is that the organisers have found a new venue. The festival is going ahead. There were 400 tickets purchased. I hope all those 400 tickets can make it. I'm not sure where the new venue is. It's in Castlebar somewhere. But I wish them well, and I hope it is a fantastic day. And I hope it's live streamed or recorded at least, and we can watch the video back. But that is where we are at. That's where we were at in 2018, and we are still at. But I'm shocked because I would have thought at this stage that people like those running the Mayflower in Drumshambo could have just stood up, because that's all it would have taken. No, I don't care if 6,000 supposed singers like Christy Moore and Kneecap signed a letter. I couldn't care less if they turned up at the Mayflower indoor and spoke to all of you guys. No is the answer. We are not cancelling. No, 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 no. These people have been spoiled. These left-wing bullies have been spoilt rotten. They get the handouts from the government. They have the media on their side. The political class are terrified of them. All it would have taken is no. But it's a lesson, another lesson learned. So I wish the Mise Eire Festival I wish them good success on that day, on 23rd of August. I hope to see a good video from it. It's unbelievable, but that's where we are. So we have Fox News informing the American. How many millions watch Fox News? I don't know. But they were all informed better than Ireland the other day on what's going on in Ireland. And then you have our former Taoiseach, Leo Varadkar, coming out, not addressing what was said in the piece. Whining about figures and data. We don't need to see figures and data. We can see with our own eyes. Things have changed. Everything's different. Nobody feels safe. And it's a damn pity that Douglas Murray went on Fox News. And Fox News aired that. And thank you to Fox News for doing that. But to think that RTE ignores. Good job, we have X. A very, very good job, we have X. So I'm going to sign off now. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and you're watching this. Share the video, spread the word, show your family and friends the Fox News piece. Like I said, be brave. Be braver than the Mayflower Inn group. Sit at your dining room table and your staff room and tell it like it is. Very, very fast things will change if everybody started doing that. Okay, guys, thank you. Thanks for everything. I enjoyed this work, and I will see you very, very soon again.